And let's talk about Eli. Look at that. Eli's got that like greedy little hand thing going there. Like,
Yeah, right.
Here.
Scrooge McDuck right there. He's about to spit out some coins.
And there's been topic of him potentially being someone who goes ahead and joins up as a minority owner because, the big news, obviously, this past year and a half now has been the quest for Tom Brady to become a minority owner of the Raiders, which he now is official. He's very involved with what's going on there now with the head coach search, and now also as of today, the GM search. They fired their GM as well. And they've said point blank that the Davis family is expecting a big amount of input from him into who they get going forward there. So, especially Josh McDaniels coming back, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, they're looking at who else could be someone who could prospectively fit that kind of role. And you look at the Giants side, and there's definitely that one guy who comes to mind, and it's Eli Manning. The man made a ton of money. First off, let's be honest there. His career earnings is ridiculous. And I'm not just talking about on the field. I'm talking about off the field. All the endorsements he did, all the stuff.
Him and Payne doing Oreo commercials.
Yeah, the guy literally co-hosted SNL. Like, he definitely transcended sports to a degree, which is weird when you look at his personality type. You wouldn't think that's the guy.
Well, him and Payne on the field were very stern, stoic like players.
Yeah,
off the field, those guys are some goofballs.
Oh yeah, Eli was known for his pranks that he'd pull on his fellow players and all. Like, he was known for that. It's kind of part of his leadership skills, though. He'd bring everybody together by, doing that kind of thing and joking around about it. So, I thought it was a great, a great part of who he was as a player, because on the field, we all thought of Eli as this dopey guy sitting on the sidelines with no expression whatsoever, good or bad. But off the field, he was clearly a much different person. It's just the way he was, his personality, a flip switch there. But, they're looking at him as a potential person who could join an ownership group with the Giants. Now, I will preface this by saying there is no ownership share available right now. This was just pure speculation and questioning of whether he'd be interested in it, and he was asked that by Alex Sherman of CNBC Sports. And the response he gave was, it's definitely something of interest. There's probably one team I'd be interested in pursuing, and it's the one I played for 16 years, and it's local and makes the most sense. But we just got to figure out if they would ever sell a little bit, or how that might happen for the Giants. I think my quest post football is trying to find that passion and find something similar that I can work towards, or I'm totally committed to. I kind of feel like I get to start over a little bit. I'm enjoying that learning process of figuring out what else I'm passionate about. It'd be interesting, like, really, if John Mara wants to get some brownie points right now with the fans, even if he did like 1% of the team to Eli, I feel like that'd be like, everybody like, oh my God, something here. Eli's going to come in to fix this. It'd give some optimism, so to speak. Totally stupid. Let's just say that point blank, if that's the reaction. I think it would be, but it would be totally stupid because Eli's never worked in a front office. Eli's never done scouting. Does he know football? Yes, of course. I'm not saying whatsoever, but to think he would come in and just fix this situation magically, is beyond me. If you listen to Eli, what he said this week, I thought it was rather disappointing that he was talking. And I don't expect him to say negative, don't get me wrong, but he's talking very positively about the decision to keep Shane and Dable, when it's pretty much obvious, that was definitely the wrong move to make based on the last couple of years there.
But that's also Eli playing politics of the game. So, you be upset.
I would stay quiet if I was him, though. Just stay quiet. There's no EQ of response even. Well, yep, they kept them. I get why they did it, and move on.
That's never been him.
I'm just saying, he didn't have to go so glowing into it, ooh, they made a great move. They keep the culture going, blah, blah, blah. This is the culture we're keeping?
Do you recall Ben McAdoo mention him and how Eli actually said he did the best thing for the team, and he went into depth instead of just saying, he just said for the team. That's who he is. You can't take that away from him. That's just the politics of the game, and that's him being a leader, and that's what a leader does. You just don't brush it off like that. You have to stand up for your
part as an ex-player, because I feel like the ex-players that speak out get kind of eliminated from certain things. Carl Banks, for example, does a lot with the media, obviously, but let's be honest, he'll never straight up bash anything the Giants do. Never will.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think
Like,
Eli's going to do it? Like, especially if they're talking about ownership possibilities?
Look at a guy like LT. I mean, LT has some legal issues besides that, obviously, but you literally have the greatest player to ever play in the defensive side of football, and he's not around the team very much. Not just because they're afraid he's going to share extracurricular activities with the players, but because of the fact that he isn't the guy who will go ahead and say everything positive about the Giants. He will speak his mind. Like, he was the main one saying, to all the players at the 100th season special that they did on the field, saying point blank, we can all get together and probably whoop these guys right now. Like, he doesn't care. He's going to say what's on his mind. Partially has to care because, let's be honest, it's LT. The Giants would never get rid of him entirely unless he got arrested again. I don't know. but
even
otherwise,
still,
legal issues aside, nothing else would make them ever abandon him because he's the greatest person to ever put a Giants uniform on, point blank. One of the greatest to ever put an NFL uniform on, point blank.
I was about to say.
Potentially you could say that the most game-changing player from the NFL still alive today. I'll say that even over Brady right now because he changed the way the position is played. Brady just played the position better, if that makes sense.
100%. Brady studied the game but didn't change it.
Yeah.
And he was able to manipulate and read things better than anyone else could. LT was a pioneer of how to play that position.
Exactly.
In the modern NFL.
But like I said, I think Eli definitely is fitting into that role now of just supporting ownership 100% with those kind of comments. And I like I said, I'm not saying he had to go there and bash the Mara family and stuff like that. I wouldn't expect that. That'd be insane to expect because he's also an employee of the Giants. Technically, he does work with their media department as part of the Eli show and stuff like that. He does for the Giants. So he is an employee. You don't bash your employer ever. That's not going to go very well. But I do think that he could have been a little less emphatic about it. I'll put it that way. And that's what would scare me is if he was to get, hypothetically, if this situation ever happened, he got partial ownership, we'd all be hoping, okay, here's a new voice. Here's a guy who's going to tell Mara how it is. When you're saying stuff like that publicly, would you? Or is Eli maybe saying something different behind closed doors? And that's part of it too.
I was going to say, there's the big difference to what you say to the media and up front in public than what you say behind closed doors. Yep. There's nothing wrong with not airing out dirty laundry.
No,
keep it in house.
Like I said, I'm not saying air it. I'm just saying you don't have to necessarily put like 10,000 sheets of fabric softener and try to claim that you have something smelling good.
Yeah, I hear you, but I also don't think it was that to that degree. But yeah, I get you.
That being said, though, I would still love it just for the nostalgia part of it. It'd be pretty cool. Because he'd be involved with the Giants the rest of his life. And I like that part of it. So.
I mean, he's already going down in Giants history, but.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and he'll probably be around forever just because of who he is and the Super Bowl rings. And like I said, he won't, be the guy who's going to get in legal trouble. Like, aforementioned LT. Like, I don't think we're ever have to worry about him getting caught with an underage hooker. I'm just saying. I think that's pretty safe to say. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Tiger would shock me. Who knows? Like, you never know. We never know what's going on in their life outside of it. But like I said, I think it'd be a nice publicity move for them if they ever did something like that. That's for sure. And this is definitely a time where the Giants could use some publicity. That's good. Definitely haven't had a lot of that lately.
No.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you.